We are here to announce that earlier today, our warrants unit arrested 48-year-old Julie Sulpizio on an arrest warrant that was obtained by our detectives for her role in the murder of our beloved friend and coworker, Deputy Bradley Link, and the injury of our deputies, Stefano Gargano and Harold Howell. Julie was taken into custody today at approximately 1:45 p.m. at Advent Health Waterman Hospital in Tiberias, where she has remained since being taken there Friday night for treatment and evaluation.
Incredibly disturbing, tragic story out of Lake County, Florida. Deputy Bradley Michael Link was killed while doing a wellness check. But it wasn't just a wellness check. There was much more to this alleged plot. That woman you saw who was arrested, she's the only one who survived. But the allegations are she was working in concert with the rest of her family. Here are the details from the Lake County Sheriff's press conference.
The Lake County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call at 19:45 hours on August the 22nd, August the 2nd, requesting law enforcement to respond to 38226 Brookside Drive, Eustis, in reference to a female in his yard assaulting people that were present and trespassing on the caller's property. This turned physical as the trespasser, later identified as Julie Sulpizio, began striking the complainant's wife, his father, and others. The complainant stated she was acting religious, accusing them of being sinners, and she knows what they did. At 19:58 hours, Corporal Owens arrived on scene. Julie Sulpizio approaches Corporal Owens with her hands concealed behind her back. She was given a command not to approach and to back up by Corporal Owens. As she walked into his outstretched hand, this prompted Corporal Owens to unholster his taser, briefly pointing it at her until she took a few steps back. Two of the victims that were present with Corporal Owens and with the complainant in close proximity. During a calm verbal exchange, Julie Sulpizio states that they, meaning the group of people that were present there, were involved in pedophilia. She again claims to be Helen, and she asked one of the victims that she had battered, "Who is your God?" Julie Sulpizio stated to them that Julie is in heaven. She then went on to state, "You see, the thing is, we needed to trick Lucy, and we later learned to be a name she calls Lucifer." She then points at Corporal Owens and states, "You were one of them." She continues by stating, "See, we needed to trick the evil to come out." One of the victims explains that Julie Sulpizio wanted them to walk in front of her to her house, but they didn't trust her. The victim asked her, is Michael okay? And Julie stated, "Oh, see, he sent me down here." The victim states, "Oh, did he?" And Julie says, "Yes, my husband, my God." At 20:10 hours, Sergeant Stevens and Corporal Owens arrived at Julie Sulpizio's residence, which is walking distance from the original incident location, to conduct a well-being check on Michael and Julie Sulpizio's children. Announcements are made at the door, and contact was attempted to no avail. Sergeant Stevens observed 3 individuals inside run, and that one looked at him as they passed the shut door. Corporal Owens also finds 2 small dogs deceased in the front yard. Corporal Owens identifies an open window on the east side of the residence with the screen kicked out, raising his suspicion about the well-being of Michael and other occupants inside. Corporal Owens asked for additional units to respond while he and Sergeant Stevens hold the perimeter. They believe that this incident may have involved a burglary or a home invasion of some kind. At 21:03 hours, Master Deputy Link, along with Master Deputy Howell, Sergeant Stevens, and Master Deputy Kessinger, attempt to enter the residence while making announcements. They enter through the rear door of the residence, which is closest to the driveway and appears to be used for ingress and egress. As they opened the door, it entered into a small laundry room, which led to an intersecting hallway that led left and right. Master Deputy Link, as he approached the threshold of the hallway, advised he was going left, indicating to Master Deputy Howell he should go right. As Master Deputy Link crossed the threshold into the hallway, his body-worn camera captures several frames of what appears to be a male in black sleeve shirt or body armor, positioned with a rifle on the arm of a couch, waiting to ambush deputies. Master Deputy Link does not see this, as he is focused on moving left and the camera's pointing straight. But as he's focused on moving left, as he indicated, and he enters the hallway with his back to the suspect, believed to be Michael Sulpizio. Multiple gunshots were fired, likely rifle rounds, from the area that the suspect occupied, striking Master Deputy Link in the back, causing him to turn and fall. Master Deputy Link is struck multiple times and attempts to suppress the threat of gunfire. During this event, Master Deputy Howell is also struck in the wrist from a projectile that came from the area of where Michael Sulpizio was positioned.
And the gunman and the two daughters who are, they're the children, but they're adults. They're in their 20s, adopted children. They're dead as well. So the last remaining member of that family is just Julie Sulpizio. Rick King, I want to begin with you. You're former law enforcement in Florida. Just your thoughts about what happened here.
You know, Vinny, for a second, as you said, I'm going to take off my criminal defense attorney hat and put back on my law enforcement hat for just a minute. That's a tragedy. And I think about, you know, I've been in situations where we're going to go into a house and we don't know what's in there, and you hit that door, you go through that door, and you know, they were doing what law enforcement officers do, and they were putting their life on the line, going into an unknown area, and they were ambushed. My heart goes out to this deputy, his family, and all the men and women that he works with every single day who are mourning his loss right now. When you think about the place where we are as a nation, and when we talk about police officers, it's just saddening to me.
Joseph Krowski Jr., let's move now to the case against Sulpizio, the last remaining member of that family. What are your thoughts about the case against her?
Oh, I think it's pretty clear that it's a case of first-degree murder. You don't actually have to be the trigger person. It looks like there's probably foreseeably going to be a mental health defense. This is unusual, though. This doesn't seem to be just an organic mental health issue. What I read is the daughters had self-inflicted blows and essentially killed themselves. This, on its face, seems to look like a family that was living like a cult. They have all the ideology. They had materials related to conspiracy theories. They were deeply and right-wing religious, and they had a stockpile of guns. One other note, I know Florida, after the Parkland shooting, had a red flag law, but there's certainly gaps in it, and they might want to revisit their gun laws. How this family was able to stockpile a cache of weapons after Marjorie Stone and Douglas shooting is beyond me.
And Bremner, I think Joseph Krowski is right on here, talking about the cult-like atmosphere. I see that as her potential defense here, that, you know, her lawyers are going to say she was the victim of the husband, the shooter. She referred to him as my husband, my God.
Exactly, and right before he said the word cult, I was thinking cult. That's her best defense. I mean, my husband, my God, and she acted pursuant to the teachings of the cult and her God. You know, I've defended police, as you know, for many decades anyway. I've never seen this in any of my cases in ambush. It's just, like Rick said, such a tragedy, especially these days with the way we treat police officers in this country.
So, Rick, in the state of Florida, how does this play out if, in fact, that's the road the defense goes down, that she was under the, control of her husband who was leading this family cult?
I mean, Vinny, I don't even believe he gets that far at this point. I mean, she's definitely going to have an insanity defense, and there's going to be doctors who are involved who are going to talk about her, first of all, her ability to stand trial and her ability to understand the gravity of what she was doing when it took place. So there's two parts to it, whether she can actually get to the trial, and if she gets to trial, whether she was legally insane at the moment. So I don't know if we get there, but for the sake of that officer and his family, I hope that they find some closure.
Yeah, well, and Joseph, that's the other part of this, right? If there's someone representing this woman, they have to be able to communicate with her. My guess is not going to be an easy client to deal with.
No, she certainly doesn't appear to be competent at the moment. I mean, I'm not a forensic psychologist, but I've dealt with enough people, and a lot of people that find themselves in the crosshairs of committing serious offenses have suffered from mental illness. So, we'll probably know shortly within the first status hearing whether or not competency is a live issue. It certainly on its face looks like it is, and especially if you consider her actions and her mental state at the time of this horrific tragedy. I think, defense attorney or not, we all share our condolences to what happened to all of the victims in this case.
Absolutely. 2 other officers were injured in all of that.